This is Jets at Noon with Cameron Poitras and Jim Toth on 680 CJOB.
Hello, happy Monday all. Cam Poitras, Jim Toth.
Happy Monday all.
Hopefully your weekend sports hangover is not causing you any undue distress this fine Monday morning. Clear skies out there and a reasonably nice early November day there, Jim Toth.
Can I quote the great Manitoba band Doc Walker?
I would love if you would.
I knew that these tracks would lead to heartache and pain, but I still got on that train.
Well, that's being a sports fan
That's the sports fan, right?
In a nutshell.
Like you, I know the Bombers lost. I know the Jays lost. The Jets won, and this is Jets at Noon. So the Jets won.
They did. They sure did. And
They're
this
9-3. And I think if you're a Jets fan or a hockey fan in general.
Points percentage, first in the league.
Sports fan, hockey fan, Jets fan in general, you got everything you wanted in Saturday's game. You got a Jets win, and you got a Sidney Crosby goal.
Yeah.
Like you don't know how many times you're going to see him more, and it was a classic go to the net, boink, off my buttocks.
Yep, classic Sidney Crosby.
In the net. And you get your win. You're 9-3. You go on a 6-game road trip. Now, we were talking about this after the show on Friday. This road trip I'm used to 3 stops in California, come home. I'm not used to throwing in the Vancouvers and the Seattles and
the Calgary at the tail end. Already getting wrapped up their schedule against Calgary.
Every game begins at 9 or 9. Well, one of the 6 starts at 9:30.
Tomorrow's starts at 9:30. Yeah.
And then the rest start at 9 p.m. Central Time.
I'll tell you, this is a tough couple weeks for Cameron Poitras. This is my nightmare scenario.
Well, if I may, Cam, as you head into this 2-week span of 6 games, all at 9 or 9:30. You knew that this train would lead to heartache and pain.
That's right.
But this is
in bed after midnight and up at 3:30. So feel sorry for me. This is my life.
And if you have a plumber come over, you're going to be up longer than that.
That's true. Hey, we have an update on Adam Lowry. We'll give you that in just a second here. Jets at Noon brought to you by Wash Method Car Wash, 690 St. Anne's Road. VIP take on the text line to win a VIP car wash from our good friends at Wash Method, 204-780-6868. We'll announce the winner later in the program, which is coming at you live from the Boston Pizza Studio for gourmet pizza and pasta. Bring the team to Boston Pizza. So, earlier on today, 10:30 practice, on X, Mitchell Clinton, radio color analyst here on 680 CJOB. You'll hear him from Los Angeles with Paul Edmonds tomorrow, and when the pregame show gets going. And then, of course, into puck drop at 9:30. But Mitchell Clinton put this out. Jets practice underway. Adam Lowry in a regular jersey, as expected, as he's been wearing for a number of days now. Samberg and Perfetti remain in non-contact. No Nyquist and no Morgan Barron.
So it's funny how in the hockey world these things work out, right? Like you've got a guy that's out all summer, all training camp, could be 10 to 25 games. You're now 11 games into the season. He's ready to come back, and one of your other regulars in Nyquist is injured. So, and it's funny how coaches always like sort of see this, even in 2 months away. Even at training camp, when I talked to Arneal, he kind of said, "Well, we'll see where we're at, when he's healthy." And then here you are. He's healthy and you got an injury.
Yeah, and you also have another injury. No Nyquist and no Barron. Okay, and so this whole conversation, the whole plan for today, Jim, was who's going to come in when Samberg and Perfetti and Lowry are ready to come back. Who's going out? Well, not so fast. This just coming down from Kelly Moore, who is at practice. Or was at practice. Barron is week to week with a mid-body injury after getting crushed along the boards in the third period versus Pittsburgh. Nyquist remains day-to-day, undisclosed injury. Both would be on the trip along with Perfetti and Samberg. Lowry and Arneal also confirmed that the captain will return tomorrow night in Los Angeles. During the line rushes at today's practice, Connor Scheifele, Velarde, Nemestikov, Taves, and Iafallo. Niederreiter, Lowry, Pearson, and then Koepke, Ford, and Lambert are your fourth line. Chibrikov, your extra forward. Here were your defensive pairings: Morrissey, DeMello, Stanley, Pionk, and Miller and Schenn. Miller playing the left side. Perfetti, Samberg, and non-contact. And then, of course, your netminders, Hellebuck and Comrie. That from Kelly Moore. Lowry back in it. Coming back in tomorrow night against the LA Kings.
And right back in on the third line with Niederreiter and Pearson is interesting too. Kepke stays in. Ford, I thought, has played well. They obviously like what he's getting done there. And Lambert had his first goal of his career, but of this regular season.
Of his NHL
as well. You couldn't ask for a better start. It was funny, sort of starting and watching the Bomber game, and you couldn't ask for a worse start in a playoff game. And then you go over to the Jets, and you couldn't ask for a better start in any hockey game. And then how it all played out. But Lambert on the fourth line is what I find most interesting. That stands out to me. But we live in this day and age in the NHL. I still don't know if that's smart, to be honest with you. I'm not trying to
it's like, well, the thing
disrespect Scott O'Neill or anything. He knows way more about the hockey team and hockey in general than I do.
They're hanging their hat on the fact that they scored.
Well, they're hanging their hat on the fact that there have been fourth lines that produce offense. And if you have an offensive player on there and they work well together, here's what they're hanging their hat on in my mind. Chemistry is chemistry. It doesn't have to make sense. It doesn't have to be the norm. It doesn't have to be chemistry's chemistry. And I thought they had some chemistry there on Saturday afternoon. So, and not just because of the goal, but like, where they go and stuff. So Pearson and Kepke stay in the lineup. Lowry's back in. Nyquist is out. But I think the unsung hero of this early part of the season is Alex Iafallo. I think the way he started down below and then he's moved up front. I know he doesn't have a ton of points, but he's looked dangerous. He's fit in well with Jonathan Taves, and that's what we were all wondering, until Perfetti comes back, who would be there. And I said at game one and then game two, and Nyquist was moved down to the third line. I didn't see a lot of in sync stuff like that. Chibrikov was up there to start the season. And then I thought since Iafallo's gone there, and that's why he's so valuable, right? Like he just, no matter where you put him, you get what Alex Iafallo does out of him.
Yeah, that's why the Winnipeg Jets were happy to keep him in the fold and sign him at the end of last season. Looking at this 4-game road trip, LA tomorrow, and then on Friday they go up to the Bay Area to play San Jose, back down to Orange County, then to Vancouver, then down to Seattle, then off to Calgary here. I mean, this is going to be a tough road trip. Perfetti and Samberg still in non-contact. They're going with the team. Do you think that it could be that they find themselves in the lineup at some point?
Yes.
Or is this maybe back home?
No, they're skating.
When they have Columbus and Carolina the following week.
Well, I shouldn't say that. I don't know. You asked me what I thought. I do think they get into a game towards the end of this. I think that they'll shed the non-contact, and then they'll, I don't think they're going to – it depends. If they're in non-contact all this week, then maybe not. But I don't think they're going to be in non-contacts for 2 straight weeks. And so I think they're going to shed the non-contact jersey, and once they get 1 or 2 in, injuries could dictate this too. You get 2 injuries on the blue line, and if Samberg's ready to go. But like that's how they'll play it, right?
Yeah.
Say they go 2-1 in the first 3 games, Samberg's ready. They might give him a 4th game off again just to make sure. And then maybe in that 4th game somebody gets banged up. But to the whole mentality of what I've seen different from this team is this is all about Stanley Cup. It's all about that. And I keep repeating myself, so forgive me, but going back to how they handled David Gustafsson, they didn't have to the point of they're getting Ford and Lambert and Chibrikov into the lineup now because they know when they're healthy they won't have room for them, but they're worried about down the road come playoff time if they have to have them in. They want to get them that comfortability and everything now. And that's what I think about this team. They're not going to have somebody go at 99.9%. But the minute they're 100%, they're going back in. Like you're not going to sit on Samberg and go, we're 4-0 on this road trip. We'll give him an extra day. They will if he's 99.999%. But if he's 100%, you're going in.
Yeah, no, I'm with you on that. So that 4th line, Kepke, Ford, and Lambert. Is there an expectation on that line? Like, does it have to go out there and do they have to factor in on a goal every second night?
No, you just have to do what they need you to do is not cost you a goal. But if you can provide some offense, great. The thing I like about Ford's game is he's clearly agitated a couple guys, but he hasn't retaliated. And when I say that, it makes him sound like he's the antagonist, the rat, right? And he's not. It's just the way he plays. He's not doing anything dirty. He's not giving an extra shot. But he's out there. He's hitting you. He's in your face. He's grinding. And I think that, the fact that guys are getting into it with him and headlocking him and wrestling him and stuff, he's not throwing a punch, right? Like he's doing his role to a T. And that's what I think they need from him. Now, if they can provide some offense, great. Mm-hmm. But I that's interesting about Lambert, right? Because these guys will do the work. You just go to the net. These guys will dig it out. They'll make the bumps and the grinds. And
so the expectation, and this is what we've heard from Scott Arniel, it's not like I'm just making this up, was that Brad Lambert needed to be fit into a top 6 role. Like that's who he is.
Yeah, but here's the other thing quickly. I know where you're going with this. Sorry to cut you off, but Chibrikov, that's the other option here without Nyquist. Yeah. He goes on to the 4th line. Chibrikov would be great on that 4th line. That's part of what he does regularly. But how do you sit a guy after he scored his first goal? Like, you don't go, hey, great goal, great stuff. You guys look good together. Sit down. We're going back with Chibrikov because Nyquist isn't here. That's what I think he's doing here. Do I think Chibrikov goes back in? Sure. If Lambert gets another goal, he stays in. If he plays well, he may stay in. But I just think that that's what's going on here. It's like, look, he got his first goal. He didn't look out of place. Let's see what this line can do for one more game.
Pre-game at 7, puck drop at 9:30. Winnipeg Jets against the LA Kings tomorrow. Daryl Evans, the ice side analyst with the fancy suits, good friend of the program. Daryl's going to be joining us tomorrow. Looking forward to catching up with him and seeing how things are going.
He also runs marathon. Like, we know he jogs every day, but he runs marathons.
The Kings,
he likes to tell me I've been running my whole life.
The Kings are an interesting team. I honestly think they're one of the best teams in the West. Right now, they're out of a playoff spot currently, but I think there's more to give, and I'm looking forward to talking to Daryl about that.
Well, here's one quick note on these last 2 games. They played Chicago, who had a really good start, given what they are.
Yep.
And they've played Pittsburgh, who clearly had the same record as them coming into this. But that's the start, right? Do you think the LA Kings are going to miss the playoffs? I don't.
No.
Everybody has their starts. Everybody struggles out of the gate. Some people excel out of the gate. But what I take from the last 2 games between Chicago and Pittsburgh is the Jets are who you think they are. And the other teams are just having good starts.
Call the Boston Pizza Jets at Noon hotline, open 24/7, 204-780-6800. Boston Pizza, coming for lunch every weekday to Boston Pizza. Get a delicious main side and ice cold drink for only $15, only at BP. The number 1 caller will be awarded a $50 gift card to Boston Pizza on Friday. When we come back, I got an email from Brian. Mark Scheifele is leading the NHL right now in scoring. He's got 20 points.
Yeah.
He asked me, has there ever been a member of the Jets 1.0 or 2.0 that's ever won the scoring race in the National Hockey League? Well, I have an answer for you when we come back. Don't go anywhere.
680 CJOB.
If you're just joining us, William texts the show, says, "Where's Barron?" ? He is week to week after a mid-body injury he suffered against the Penguins.
And he's
traveling with the team now.
This has been happening. Like, he missed a couple practices and still played, but he wasn't. So to me, it's obviously they're like, we better get this taken care of.
Brian sent me an email over the weekend, says, "Hi, Cam. I hope that you are well. I see that Mark Scheifele is currently leading the NHL in scoring. Has it ever happened before that a Winnipeg Jet 1.0 or 2.0 player has ever been atop the NHL scoring race at the start of November or overall? I don't recall this ever happening. I started going to Jets games in 1980. Thanks." No, it hasn't. A Jets player has never led the NHL in scoring after the month of October. Wow. The closest a Jet has ever been to leading the league in points was Dale Hawerchuk in 84-85. He was third with 130 points. But that year, Wayne Gretzky had 208.
208?
Yeah. In 84-85, he had 208 points, and Hawerchuk was third with 130. So, thanks a lot. That's interesting. Thanks, Wayne.
I mean, the way he started, like, he could even slow down a bit. It's more about if the other players kept absolute fire.
We'll be right back on the other side as the show goes on. Jay Richardson hit me with a little bit of Chicago Blackhawks or Blackhawks trivia. What am I talking about? We'll discuss when the show goes on. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back. Jets at Noon brought to you by Wash Method Car Wash, 690 St. Anne's Road.
Wash Method.
VIP take on the text line to win a VIP car wash from our good friends at Wash Method, 204-780-6868. We'll announce the winner later in the program, which is coming at you live from the Boston Pizza Studio for gourmet pizza and pasta. Bring the team to Boston Pizza. If you're just joining us, Morgan Barron is week to week, mid-body, after getting crushed along the boards in the third period versus Pittsburgh. Gustav Nyquist remains day-to-day. Nyquist and Barron will be all on the trip along with Perfetti and Samberg. Samberg and Perfetti were on the practice ice today, both still remaining in their non-contact jerseys, but Adam Lowry was suiting up. He's in the line rushes, and Lowry and Arneal have confirmed that the Winnipeg Jets captain will return tomorrow night in L.A. Pre-game show at 5. Puck drop at 9:30 right here on 680 CJOB.
And so it begins.
So what's the expectation for Lowry?
Just to be him.
Yeah.
You know, good in the face-off dot, hard to play against, checking, physical, all those things. I mean, I still have that running bet for $50. He's going to be a 40-point game.
Maybe not
40
tonight.
40-point guy one season.
Maybe not tonight.
No, I think tomorrow night he gets on his way. He gets 3
5
points.
or 6. He gets 5 or 6.
He'll be averaging 3 points per game after tomorrow night.
Hat trick and 3 helpers, or what?
Maybe. Do you think he'll score 40 one year? 40,
I do.
40 points.
I think he's capable of it. Yeah. I mean, he's 32, right? Pretty sure he's the same draft year as Scheifele, right?
Yeah, he's 32.
Was he third round or second round? I think he's third
round.
The
most
right?
points he's
or
had
round.
is the last 3 years. He's had 36 points in 82 games. He's had 35 points in 81 games. And last year was the year he was going to do it.
Yeah.
34 points in 73 games, 16 goals.
And he let you down.
And I tried to even, in my ongoing wager with my friend, I even go throw in the playoffs, but he only had 4 points in the playoffs. All goals.
Yeah.
But that only brought him up to 38 points.
So,
I do think, whether he does or not, like, he's so invaluable around all the other
how key is this road trip?
Well, it's key because
is this one of these crazy road trips where it's like, man, if we just go 500, if we're coming out of this thing 3-3, we're happy? Or are you looking at we're playing the Flames again, who stink. Okay, we're playing the Sharks. The Sharks are playing teams pretty tight. They're not.
That team has
up
firepower. But the way the Jets play, they should be able to beat the Sharks.
So the Ducks are getting some, the Seneke, and like they're getting some good play from the younger guys. They're balanced out by some veterans as well. Okay, the Canucks are struggling right now. And the Kings are a team that still has a lot more to give than what they've shown so far. In Seattle,
Kings have been injured.
You're looking to sort of avenge that game against Seattle at Canada Life Center in October. So there's a lot of layers to this road trip, I think.
Well, if you go out on the road for 6 games, like, you always want to be a 500 or better on the road, and so I think they could play their style, play their way. But that's the other thing that's come across, like when they played Chicago and Pittsburgh, is they beat those teams quite handily, in my opinion. Yeah. Not on the score sheet, but they outplayed them. They're the better teams, and it played out the way it should play out.
I agree.
So Pittsburgh had the same record, but Pittsburgh's not as deep, is not as good. I didn't think the Pittsburgh Penguins were ever in that game on Saturday. Mm-hmm. That being said, Malkin was the guy Ford ticked off.
Well, he slashed. He got max fine for $5,000 on that slash he put on Logan Stanley.
Yeah, that was Stanley upset him too.
Yeah
I mean,
he got fined for that. Yeah,
lay off Stanley, you goof.
Leave him alone. What did he ever do to you?
What did he ever do? By the way, I want to say something.
The Jets tick off Malkin. He gets
furious. Wheeler, he
gets furious against.
Who hates Blake Wheeler? Nobody.
Keep going.
Anyway, but Malkin, he does dislike the Jets, I find. Maybe it's because he had to come to Winnipeg. Maybe it's the whole province.
It's the logo.
What am I doing here?
Yeah, maybe you should have the Lemieux flu. Yeah. Lemieux would come in and just like,
oh, my back, and then go to Calgary and have 6 goals.
Yeah.
So on this like road trip and all that, but I should mention this about Stanley. Dwayne Gilavoychuk, our coach, reached out to me on Friday, and we were talking about that goal. Not Svechnikov. Burakovsky scored for Chicago
between both their legs.
Yeah, and he actually. I should read this because he would know better. And so there was a texter we had that called in and said like he didn't like the way he played that, and you and I were both like, well, that's between both legs.
We both defended Stanley 100%. I'm on the record. I defended.
And so Gil Wojciech brought up the point. He goes, it wasn't defended well. He needs to get there sooner, and then there's no chance he can put it between his legs. Mm-hmm. And so I look back at it, and I feel we're right. Like once they're there,
yeah.
But Dwayne brought up the great point. If he's there sooner, he can't back up to a point where he can put his stick back.
Yeah.
So Stanley should have been there quicker. So to the caller on Friday, you are correct, sir. You and I are wrong.
Yes, I was wrong about that.
As a defenseman, and Gil Wojciech would know because he both played the position and then coaches it.
Yeah.
So that Stanley should have been there sooner on that Svechnikov goal.
Yes, I agree with you on that.
I just wanted to clarify that. When we're wrong, we don't mind saying when we're wrong.
I appreciate you bringing that up.
And Dwayne is right about everything. So, and
I don't think Dwayne's ever been wrong about anything.
Yeah. And even if he is, don't mess with him because he will drop you. No, I'm just kidding. So thanks to Dwayne for that. Yeah.
I think he had 200 penalty minutes with the Wheat Kings one year or something like that.
Yeah, you don't want to.
You don't want to mess with him.
No, you don't
want to mess with you.
So you're right, sir. Thank you for listening. But seriously, no, I always like to correct ourselves if we're wrong on something. But on this road trip, so I just think that, if you can go 4-2, I don't think that's too much to ask because this isn't, just your average team in the National Hockey League. The Jets are a top 10 team. LA is going to be tough. LA is always tough, and they play the Jets with their stifling defensive ways a lot tougher than some other teams do. The Sharks are just flying high. Like I don't know what their average goals per game are. I should look that up, but I was going to look it up prior to the Sharks game. But they are just piling in the goals, and they're so young and talented right now. But they're still not a playoff team. Like they're 4-6.
They have 42 goals.
They got 53 against is the problem there.
That's the issue. Yeah, that's the problem.
So And like I say, the Jets have 45. Well, I haven't said it. I'll say it now. The Jets have 45 goals, and they got 30 against. That's the difference. Yeah,
the only team that has allowed fewer goals so far this season is, as of right now, the Washington Capitals.
So they should beat the Sharks.
29.
I've seen the Canucks play maybe twice this year, and then some highlights. There's nothing about the Canucks I think you should lose to the Jets, but they always play the Jets tough. Mm-hmm. That being said, Anaheim, I think, is a test, and I think Seattle's another test, and then you should beat Calgary. So I think to be a successful road trip, they should be 4-2 or at least 3-2-1.
As of this morning, the Ducks are first in the Pacific.
Yeah.
And so again, they had a good start last year, but then listen, over 82, I don't think the Ducks are going to make the playoffs.
Here's what is also interesting, Cam. So the Colorado Avalanche have played one more game, and they are up on 1 point in the standings on the Jets. But the Avalanche have gone overtime 5 times.
Yeah. And they're 0 for 5.
So that's a minimum. They're 0 for 5, but that's 5 extra points in the standings. So they have 19 points. The Jets have been to overtime 0. Utah 0.
Well, they haven't lost. They have been to overtime. Kyle Connor.
They haven't. I apologize. They haven't lost in overtime, I should say. But they are 5 overtime games, 5 losses. Of the 5.
Is that excusable for the talent that Colorado has?
A couple of years ago, the Dallas Stars made it by simply going to overtime 13 times.
Like I'm saying, like when you have Nathan McKinnon and you have Cale Makar on your team, you should be eating teams alive 3-on-3 with that extra space.
Well, not only that, but they're not like they lost to San Jose in overtime. And we'll see how the Jets match up against San Jose. But Colorado, as hot as a start as they were, and you mentioned Scheifele taking over the points lead. Well, there was a time the first 2 weeks of the season, I didn't think anyone was going to catch McKinnon. Mm-hmm. He was absolutely on fire. But they lost to San Jose the other day, Colorado did, in overtime. They beat Vegas. They beat New Jersey, but they also lost in overtime to New Jersey. They lost to Boston 3-2.
Yeah.
And then they also lost to the Carolina Hurricanes in a shootout. They lost to Utah in overtime. So they're in and around it. Like, they're still who we think they are. But there's just, and again, the losses the Avalanche have this year, to me, is depth. They're just not as deep.
They're not getting that extra.
But they're so good up top. And Makar. And
they doubled down, with the signing of Natchez. They've essentially said, we're going to have to find ways to work around our depth.
Well, that's working out for them, though. He had 3 points the other night. McKinnon, I think, had 1.
Well,
and it's like when you focus on McKinnon, then Natchez will.
It will work out for them. But again, listen, everyone's got a hole on their team, Jim. Everybody's got a hole, right? It's just how do you overcome it once the playoffs start?
Right. No, that's perfect way to put it. Yeah. So anyway, just early goings here and all that. But Now the Jets are taking it to the teams that they should be taking it to, and I don't know. What do you think is success? I think a 4-2 road trip is successful. Anything better than that is even better. Even if they're 3-2-1 in overtime or a shootout, that's fine. But if you're 500 or less, I think that's an unsuccessful.
If you take, I think if they come back and they're 3-3 on this road trip, I don't think the Jets are going to be like we're gangbusters out there. We did what we set out to do. I think with the amount of travel in this, the fortunate thing about this is I know that they play the one game in Mountain Time in Calgary. They're staying in the Pacific and they're staying a long time. Yeah. So sort of that fatigue of jumping time zones and all that. I mean, how did this last week? I mean, Sunday morning. I mean, it screws up. I mean,
and am I wrong? Like, this is because of the Olympics, right? Because they used to go to California, do the 3 games, and come home. It was a week-long trip, and then maybe not home, but then they would hit Dallas or Minnesota or something. And then they would do the Alberta-Vancouver swing, maybe down to Seattle, and then come home.
This is a good.
But I think they're getting this West Coast trip in 6 games over 2 weeks because they can't go back. I don't think too much. I think they do, but this
is a good team building trip too, Jim, because you're going to sort of interesting locales. You know what I mean? You're going to Orange County, down in Anaheim. You're going to Los Angeles. They're leaving today. You're going to the Bay Area around San Francisco. I know that it's like they're probably not moving too far around. When it comes to there, I don't think they're going to be heading downtown San Francisco, but who knows what's going to be up there.
No, they won't be. I mean, they might get around to golfing.
Yeah, I mean, then you go to Vancouver, Seattle, and then on back to Calgary too. So it's a good team building trip. I mean, if you're the wives and you're a guy with kids, I mean, this is where my lens I see things through right now. Or you're a team member or somebody in the personnel that is going to be away from home for 2 weeks. I mean, that sucks, but like in terms of the team coming together and the players and all that, I mean, I think this is a good trip.
Well, in February, they play in Dallas on the Monday, and then they come home to host Montreal on Wednesday, February 4th, and then that's the Olympic break for 2.5 weeks. And they restart the season in Vancouver on the 25th and then go back down to Anaheim.
Yeah.
So, and then once they get into March, they go to San Jose, but they just do Anaheim, San Jose, and then they come back and have 3 home games. So, it's not like, I just think I'm used to seeing them, and I get the Olympics and all that, but they're used to doing this 3 games at a time, then maybe a 4th on the way home. But to be on that time zone, other than Calgary at the end, is a little different this year.
204-780-6868. Miss your chance to get your thoughts on the show today. Call the Boston Pizza Jets at Noon hotline, open 24/7, 204-780-6800. Boston Pizza coming for lunch every weekday to Boston Pizza. Get a delicious main side and ice cold drink for only $15. Only at BP, the number 1 caller will be awarded a $50 gift card to Boston Pizza on Friday. Let's take a break. Let's come back. We'll give away that VIP car wash from our good friends at Wash Method to the VIP texter.
Wash Method!
And Jim, I got a little bit of trivia for you.
Kelly Moore trivia? Because that's way too
hard.
Power
97's Jay Richardson.
Okay, this I can maybe. Kelly Moore gives me these trivia questions that I'm just like, I
have no chance at answering this.
I'd have to go to Harvard to know this. And there's no chance of that.
And it has to do with the Blue Bombers and the Blue Jays.
Oh.
And it also has to do with the NHL. So I'll ask you.
All encompassing.
I'm putting you on the spot because he asked me this today.
And are you going to work in a 58-yard game-winning touchdown?
I almost made a fool of myself, Jim Toth.
Oh,
we'll be right back.
Oh, no. Not again.
Jim Toth on 680 CJOB.
Well, congratulations to Gord. He is our winning texter, winning the VIP car wash from our good friends at Wash Method, 690 St. Anne's Road. Gord says, the Jets' depth is amazing. They rolled 4 lines the other night with Lowry, Perfetti, and Nyquist in the press box. So basically, they're capable of rolling 5. Most teams are stretched to roll 3 all night. Well done, Chevy. That one from Gord. Good text message, Gord. Congratulations. You got your ticket to romance. Yeah. Yeah. So, and they've been able to deal with some very key injuries early on, and now Morgan Barron out week to week. So, yep, they've done a good job. So, Jim, with the Blue Bombers and the Blue Jays out, feeling blue?
Am I feeling blue?
Yeah.
No, I mean, no.
So the Winnipeg Jets.
I'm disappointed the Bombers aren't going to be at the big dance.
That is,
and I wasn't sure they could do it. No other CFL teams do it, but I thought they could get through this one and make it to Hamilton. And
the first half of that game was so disappointing.
The first half of that game was a changing of the guard. This is over. It's been a great run. And the second half of that game was, we need to make a couple of adjustments, bring in a key few people, and we're still got it. But I don't know.
So anyways, Jay Richardson is the PA announcer for the Winnipeg Jets, also the morning show on Power 97. Jay asked me about which teams in the NHL have a color in their name.
Oh, wow.
There's 5. Here you go, Jim. I'm going to count. I'm not setting a timer, but you better answer this question. Which 5 teams in the NHL have a color in their name?
Blue Jackets.
1.
I'm going through the teams.
Okay, keep going. Do you want a hint?
Yeah.
There's one very similar to the Blue Jackets.
Oh, we're doing all sports?
No, just NHL.
Oh, NHL. Blue Jackets.
And very similar to the Blue Jackets.
The Blues. Thank you.
Okay. There's an original 2 original.
I hate trivia. I can't do it.
There's 2 original 6 teams. There's 2 original 6 teams with a color in their name. And then there's one in the desert. The Red Wings and the Blackhawks.
The Red Wings. Oh, the Blackhawks. See, I think of a bird.
And then the Golden Knights. I'll save you, Jim.
Golden Knights?
You got
golden is a color?
Gold is a color.
Gold is, not golden.
Yeah, but okay.
Now, this is what trivia does. It divides people. It's very divisive.
Yes. I'm going to give you.
I'm also not that bright.
We got a ding. Is there like a ding? Can we get a clap? There you go, Jim.
What do I get?
I'm giving it to you.
Like a parting package? Like you didn't get the new car. But
I'm giving it to you.
Here's a set of steak knives.
There it is.
Thank you.
Thanks, Forche. Yeah.
Golden.
I'm giving it to you. Sorry to put you on the spot.
You think we should
Jim.
get the curtains in a golden color?
So, anyways, Jay asked me that. I won't tell you how quickly I got it.
Was it just let me know if it was faster or slower?
It was like 12 seconds, but.
Wow.
Anyway, so and I took,
but you're wasting away in the media. You're very smart.
I should be on Jeopardy making millions.
You
like
should
Ken
be doing
Jennings.
You should be making a lot more money.
Very true.
Other than the media.
It's very, very true. So, anyways, the one that I didn't think of was the Blackhawks because it took a
second. The Blackhawks I didn't either because I went Chicago and I'm like, well, that's a bird.
Well, and it's like it takes so then Jay drops some facts on it.
It's not a bird, by the way. It's the word hawk isn't, but I know
correct.
what it is.
Yeah.
Don't email me.
So anyways, it's easy to forget that for a long portion of their history, the Blackhawks were known as the 2 words, the Black Hawks, not the Blackhawks. The shift from Black Hawks to Blackhawks occurred in 1986. And it's something only the most diehard Hawks fans and NHL enthusiasts will point out. The story behind the name dates back to 1926 when its original owner, Frederick McLaughlin, found himself commanding the 86th Infantry, which called itself the Black Hawk Division, one word. So when he founded the Blackhawks, one word, McLaughlin used that name for his team, but it was spelled Black Hawks, 2 words. Fast forward to 1986-87, and the original documents regarding the team led to a shocking discovery. So up until 87 or 86, they were 2 words. Then they had the name Blackhawks printed, not 2 words, but 1 word in accordance with those original documents. And they've been 1 word ever since.
I actually love history like this. Like I love learning about it. I even read up about the Blackhawks logo and where that came from, what it represents years ago. But so tomorrow I want you to do animals. I will not be here tomorrow, but I will be listening, and I want to hear the number of teams that are animals. And if you don't do it in 12 seconds or less.
Thank you very much, Shirley Forche, for producing the show.
Thanks,
That's it for me. I'll be back same time tomorrow.
Take the high road easy, Forts.